Stay with us on Sportsworld. Still to come, Laurie Daly, the captain of the New South Wales Rugby League team. It's 1-1 in the best-of-3 series. Horse racing, the big events from Eagle Farm. Wayne Wilson joins Keith Hillier. Ned Zellick, the man who scored the 2 goals against Holland to put the Olyroos through to Barcelona. Kathy Freeman's also on her way to Barcelona, plus all the latest in football, AFL and Rugby League. Lots more still to come on Sportsworld. Stay with us. Tremendous day of racing yesterday, highlighted by the great grey, Scalacci. And I think we can call him a great grey by winning the QTC Cup. Keith Hillier joins us as always. Keith, I laughed anyway when Lee Freedman said, well, he could be the next Manikato. He's not quite there, and he may never get there, but he's on the way.
Oh, is he ever, Bruce? A fantastic performance from Scalacci yesterday. He had 3 kilos more than weight for age. He hadn't raced for 5 weeks, and he took his record to 9 starts, 7 wins and a second, and that was the first past the post anyway. He's a fantastic sprinter. I just wonder what the reaction was like in Queensland yesterday. Wayne Wilson joins us as usual. Wayne, have they taken this horse to their hearts up there?
Oh, there's no doubt about that, Bruce. It was an amazing performance by Scalacci yesterday, and the crowd, they got behind him in a way that I've never ever seen on a Brisbane racetrack before. They were throwing flowers at him as he came back. Damien Oliver caught a big bunch of flowers as he came back into the enclosure. And hardened racing men in the enclosure just stood there and looked at Scalacci and even went over and gave him a bit of a pat. There were emotional scenes at Eagle Farm. It was one of the great days of racing in Queensland. He's a great horse, Wayne. What do you think the crowd love about him? The fact that he had to concede weight to all his rivals, even the fact that he's a grey, that seems to be an asset, doesn't it? Well, yes, the grey, it plays a part, doesn't it? People love grey racehorses, and when you get one so brilliant as Scalacci is, and the amazing record that he had in the South, and we hadn't seen him here. We'd been promised to get a look at Scalacci, but then the rains turned him away, and they'd made the decision to take him back to Sydney, and then they changed their mind. He was in the Robbins Kitchen Cup, he was in the 10,000, he was scratched from both races, so we finally saw him, and we'd built up this image of Scalacci, and he lived right up to it in the QTC Cup yesterday. Bruce, the scene that Wayne has just painted about the adoration of Scalacci, this horse has won the triple sprint crown down here. The Oakley, the Lightning and the Newmarket Handicap. He won the Galaxy at Randwick. He's won the QTC Cup and he may now win the Stradbroke, yet he may not be Horse of the Year. That sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Well, it just says what a great year Let's Elopes have, because I think she still deserves it no matter what he does in the Stradbroke. She was able to win 5 Group 1s, including the Caulfield Melbourne Cups, and her win in the Australian Cup was unforgettable. Do you have an argument there, Wayne? I mean, Horse of the Year, Lee Freedman said yesterday, this is the Horse of the Year, Scalacci. I disagree. It's still got to be Let's Elope. Well, I think in the heat of the moment, if he wins the Stradbroke next week, I think he'll be getting my vote, because he's a great sprinter, there's no doubt about that. And he's done almost the impossible to win that Triple Crown in Melbourne and then race so well in Sydney and race so well here in Brisbane. Look, he'll be in there with a great chance against Let's Elope. Hey, Wayne, I want to know who took the flowers to the races to throw to Damien. I've never seen any race girl walk through a gate with a bunch of flowers. Well, I think there was a hats competition in the enclosure just before the QTC Cup, and I think one of the ladies who won one of the competition prizes received a big bunch of flowers, and she was just so excited she threw them to Damien Oliver as he came back. Well, he didn't weigh, he weighed in on time okay, he was the right weight, so he must have just dropped them before he got on the scales. Good on you, Damien. Okay, we've talked a lot about this horse. Let's look at his scintillating performance. His acceleration's outstanding. QTC Cup, Scalacci.
Up towards the crossing, they've got 650 metres to go, and Roman Senator's the leader, a length in front of Scalacci. In third place, He's No Saint on the outside, followed by Lord Triton in the middle. Heavenly Knight next on the rails, then Dapper's Hope and Blaylock's Bull tracking through behind Scalacci as they approach the corner. Sonic Express, Royal Deputy next, and then Lord Triton in the straight, 400 metres to go. Roman Senator's the leader, shifting his ground a little bit. Scalacci's chasing him on the outside, and here comes Blaylock's Bull. He's joining in very quickly. Scalacci's moved up to Roman Senator. He's got his nose in front, Scalacci. Blaylock's Bull trying hard on the outside. They're clear of Heavenly Knight. Scalacci's in front. He shot away from them. This is the big grey. Look at him go the last little bit. Scalacci's too good for them. Unequal flying home at the end, but Scalacci's won it. Scalacci first, Unequal second, third, Roman Senator or Blaylock's Bull.
Eased up on the line. There's the market, Wayne. 5-2 Scalacci and 5-1 Rough Habit for the Stradbroke. If there's a lot of rain, well, Scalacci probably won't start and Rough Habit will be short. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Rough Habit's so good on rain-affected going, but with the public support for Scalacci, I'm sure he's going to run the favourite of the Stradbroke next week, provided we get a good track. I spoke to Michael Freedman, who's looking after the horse here in Brisbane, and he said this morning the horse is bright as a button. He expected him to be a little bit jaded, given consideration to the fact that he hasn't raced since the Galaxy, but he said he's as bright as a button this morning, and it's all systems go for the big one next week. Well, couldn't be better news. Let's go to the Oaks and and we'll discuss the prospects of Royal Magic later in the carnival, but it was another very big finish at Eagle Farm yesterday, and the O'Sullivan-trained Royal Magic getting the money.
They're starting to bunch up as they approach the corner. 500 metres out, Sonia Heaney in front of Swiss Cotton. The outside, Belro Bella's next, followed by Ramyar in the centre. Over on the rails is Elma Mata. Royal Magic is tracking through nicely in the centre. Then Sea Rhapsody on the inside. Lady Nikolai pulled to the extreme outside, and so is Regal Sea an hour on Fleur. They've got 300 metres to go. Swiss Cotton, she slipped up on the outside and she's hit the front now. It's Swiss Cotton in front of Sonia Heaney. Sea Rhapsody getting through. Ramyar, Royal Magic the outside. My Brilliant Star, have a look at this for a go. Royal Magic on the extreme outside. She's hit the front. Regal Sea is chasing her. Royal Magic in front of Regal Sea. They hit it. Royal Magic first. Regal Sea second. Third, Ramyar.
Well, that filly, Bruce, was the only racehorse that the Dave O'Sullivan camp from New Zealand brought to Brisbane. She'd won 4 races from 13 starts in New Zealand for a total of $40,000 in prize money. Yesterday's purse to the winner, $132,000. Wayne, some talk now whether she's going to run and stay in Brisbane for the Derby or go home and be freshened up for the Caulfield Cup in the spring.
Yes, there is, Keith. I spoke to Lance O'Sullivan this morning. He said his dad, Dave, is just a little lukewarm about backing her up in the Derby next week. They came here with the prime aim of winning the Oaks. But Paul's pretty keen to give her a start next week. He said he'll monitor her progress in the next 48 hours and then a decision would be made. But reading between the lines, I'd say she'll nearly run in the Derby.
OK, so we'll watch for that. Let's have a look at the O'Shea Stakes Weight for Age race. Good guide to the Brisbane Cup. Mountain Rule successful.
Pushing through in the centre is Grooming. He's going up to join them. Just behind them, Donegal missed. Equidity is next on the rails, looking for the way clear. Carlton King to the outside. Magnolia Hall and Mantelpiece, they're both pulled wide. They've hit the straight now, 400 metres to go. Grooming's in front. Mercator's going with Grooming on the outside. Donegal missed running third. Equidity's coming through, and look at Mountain Rule. Mountain Rule is weaving his way through the field. He's gone for a gap on the inside. He's got it, and he's raced to the front. It's Mountain Rule bursting away from them. 100 metres to go. Beedman riding him hands and heels. Mr. Eurostar is chasing him on the outside. It's Mountain Rule in front, holding Mr. Eurostar. Mountain Rule first, Mr. Eurostar second. Third home was Zinders.
What do you think of him, Wayne? Because he was one of the early favourites for the Cups here in Melbourne in the spring and didn't quite go on with it.
I thought the win yesterday was very good. It was a brilliant ride by Darren Beedman to get him through the field, and he charged to the line very well. Now, the horse has been sort of a little patchy here in Brisbane because of the wet tracks. I think now that he's back up on top of the ground and now that he's hit his form again, he'll loom as one of the big chances in the Cup. I was impressed with that performance yesterday, and I also like the run of Mr. Eurostar from a Brisbane Cup point of view as well, Bruce. OK, he's a great trainer, Kerry Jordan of Stayers. Now, the size produce, Bob Thompson had terrific success with Zinders last year in the 2-year-old races in Brisbane, and yesterday successful with Slight Chance. She was 4th in the Champagne Stakes in Sydney, but she was very impressive yesterday, as we see now.
Surti is beautifully placed, the length away fourth on the outside, then Q-Gen Star of Maze Case, Slight Chance of Firm Star, Lord Gofton. Imposing Bull is next on the rails, then Licencio said, let him ride Selcante. Never Forget on the outside, further back came Jurial Chief, well in the straight now, 400 metres to go. Mukhtar slipped away from them, 2 lengths in front. Facade in second place, Slight Chance is looming as a big danger on the outside. White Nav still there, then Surti, who's hard ridden. Mukhtar's the leader, but Slight Chance is going to him quickly on the outside, and this little filly sprinted away from them. It's Slight Chance 2 in front of Mukhtar, followed by Sea Winnie running on, but it's all Slight Chance, and in the run to the post, she's killing them. Slight Chance first, Sea Winnie second, Mukhtar third.
Well, a big win there too, Slight Chance. Wayne, I wonder whether Sir T, the favourite who had the run of the race, might be purely a wet tracker.
Well, that could be the case, Keith. He was inclined to over-race a little bit in the early stages of the race. And the general opinion is that maybe he's going to be a little bit better as a result of the run. He's done extremely well here, but you might be right. He might be a wet tracker. I was very impressed with Slight Chance because she was badly checked in the early stages of the race. Interference that cost us some 2 or 3 lengths, and she picked up, got up into a lovely position, and didn't she show a nice turn of foot at the 250-metre mark when he let her go? There was a very good run in the race too by Pellet. Watch for him in the Castlemaine Stakes. OK, some good guys to the Castlemaine on Monday week. Well, Wayne Wilson was calling yesterday. He really earned his stripes in the next race. The Australian Airlines, a minor guide to the Stradbroke Handicap. Infallible getting the money.
Lee's bid second last with Multi-Sync, and Strapping is still last of all. They're packing up as they approach the corner, 450 metres out. Chortle's in front of Post Elect with Friends Venture looking for the way clear, third on the rails. They're clear of Majestic Boy on the outside with Infallible Mr. Impose, Red for Go. Then My Wandering Star and Jakarta on the extreme outside. Chortle is still the leader, 200 metres out. Post Elect having a crack at him. Majestic Boy joining in. Mr. Impose is getting a split in the middle. Mr. Impose is flying through. Post Elect, Majestic Boy, Mr. Impose. Infallible's there as well. Four of them driving to the line locked together. Oh, have a look at this. This is a beauty. They hit it very tight. Infallible dived at them right on the line. Photo finish.
Well done, Wayne. Just going for Infallible there. And Seed in the rider, and Gerald Ryan's having a terrific run. Excellent week coming up with the Stradbroke and the Brisbane Cup. It must be the biggest week for you guys in Queensland for the year.
Yes, it is. There's no doubt about that, Bruce. And I think everyone's going to go Scalacci crazy in the next 7 days. We're praying for fine weather. It's a lovely day in Brisbane today. And if this weather pattern continues, look out for a bumper crowd at Eagle Farm next Saturday.
And just finally, will Queensland win the State of Origin, or will it be New South Wales in Rugby League?
Fancy asking a Queenslander there. Queensland for sure.
Good on you, Wayne.
Thanks, Bruce.
OK, Keith, we'll see you next week. A couple of other bits of news.
Yes, Darren Gauci, a decision made yesterday, Bruce, that he will go to Hong Kong to ride next season for Laurie Founds. At Cheltenham and Adelaide yesterday, Gary Clark rode his 100th winner for the season, and at Sandown here in Melbourne, Danny Nikolic brought up his 50. So some good performances there from the boys. We're going to miss the Gouts next year, aren't we?
Oh, we sure are. He's a tremendous rider and has such a personality and such a following. We won't miss you, though, Keith, because you'll be back next week.
I'll look forward to that, Bruce.
Me too. We take a break after this. Brooke's going to return with a story on Kathy Freeman.